Hi and welcome back to another episode of From the Ground Up. I'm Bianca Miller-Cole and today we're going to be talking about email marketing. Now, on this journey to starting a brand new business, High-End Skin, I'm really thinking about how I nurture my audience. How do I help my audience to feel connected as a community? For me, High-End Skin is about more than just skincare. It's also about personal care. It's also about building empowerment and making people feel more confident in their skin. Now, as you know, on this journey, I have created a brand that is predominantly for the use of women, but I've already seen from those who have tested the product that the men have wanted to use it and have been using it and have been loving it too. And that just illustrates the fact that it is an all-round great product that just helps people feel more confident in their skin. And I think that's phenomenal. So as part of the journey for our customers, I want them to feel like they're part of a community. I want to encourage them to share their journey using their skincare, but their journey more generally. I want them to feel that they can take part in a challenge, that they can start thinking about how they improve their life as a whole. So whether that's drinking more water, taking care of their skin, having more exercise, having 30 minutes of dedicated focused time towards their goals, I want them to be able to go on that journey. But I also want them to feel loved and supported and like their opinion matters as we go throughout this journey of developing the brand. Now, of course, we started with 3 products and it is a 3-step process, but I know that over time there'll be other products we need to add, whether that's body care, whether that's, hair care. There's going to be other products in the future, and I want my customers to be able to give me that feedback, to communicate with me, but also to communicate with each other and to feel empowered together. And so it's really important that we think about how we document the journey with our customers and how we communicate with our customers, and email is a very important part of that. So I have enlisted the help of Fiverr expert email coach Holly, and Holly is working with me to create our email automation sequences, but also to work on a regular email that goes out to our customers. So there are a few key things that you want to be thinking about if you are developing a product-led brand or even a service-led brand, to make sure that you are interacting with customers when they are buying from you and working with you. So here are a few things. So the first one is, of course, the welcome sequence. So if a customer is registering to join your website, to register for your website, for your mailing list, you want to welcome them. Hey, thanks for joining, and so on. You want to give them that welcome, and I think that's really important. Holly is working with me to create a fantastic template that we can send out to our customers, which will automatically go out whenever someone subscribes to our mailing list, that welcomes them to the community, that encourages them to be a part of something. And then, of course, we want to think about the cart sequences. So if someone makes a purchase, do they get an email confirming that their purchase has been created? Do they get another email confirming that their product is being shipped? So you want to make sure that they are getting that communication. And then, of course, if they go to the website, they start putting products in their basket, but they don't finish that order, is there an abandoned cart sequence to encourage them to come back? Now, I'm sure you've seen this before. I'm sure you've had that where you've gone to order something, you got distracted, you didn't finish the order, or you went to go and get your bank card and then you forgot to come back, right? Well, that requires an abandoned cart sequence to bring them back in, to say to them, hey, you forgot something, come and finish your purchase. So you want to have that sequence in place. You also want to have a product review sequence. So as I said, I want my customers to feel part of a community, but I also want their feedback. I genuinely want to know how they are doing with the product. I genuinely want to know if they have feedback or suggestions for improvement. I genuinely want to know how they're using it, how they adapted the process that we've documented on the box and made it their own. And it's important, therefore, that we have a sequence set up where we ask the customer for their review. So, for example, a customer, let's think about the customer journey for a second here. A customer goes to the website, they make a purchase. They get an email. Thank you so much for your purchase. Really appreciate you. Thanks for buying. Then you get another email. Hey, your purchase is on the way to you. you should be receiving in X number of days, or here's a tracking link, right? Then you want them to get a review sequence. So you want to say, hey, how's it going? Do you like the product? Is there any feedback you could give us? Then you might send another one. Would you mind sending a written testimonial or video testimonial, or sharing the journey? You might even want to have an email with some top tips. Here are some suggestions on how you can use the brand to increase the outcome. Here's some suggestions on the best way of using it, or how you can adapt it to help you, because you really want them to feel part of something, and you want to encourage them, of course, to share with you across the social medias. So I'm working with Holly, and she has created some templates that we're going to use and we can adapt to suit the different environments and the different sequences we need for each of our customers. And of course, we want to make sure that at the other end of that email, we have a team that is ready for that customer experience. If someone has had a negative experience, how do we follow up with that? If someone has had a positive experience, how do we thank them for taking the effort to actually send us that review? Because when I was speaking to Johnny, who is my Fiverr Amazon expert, he said something like 0.3% of men send reviews. 0.1% of women, no, that's a lie. 0.03% of men submit reviews. 0.1% of women submit reviews. So we've got more of a chance of the women reviewing, but if they do take that effort, given the small percentage of people who actually do review, you want to thank them for doing so. You want to encourage them to continue to share that, right? So Holly is working on that. So here is a list of some of the other email sequences you might want to be thinking about. So first we have the affiliate sequence. So if you have an affiliate section on your website and you're encouraging people to refer your brand and you're giving them a commission or a gift as a result, you might want to have a sequence for that, welcoming them as an affiliate, telling them what happens next, giving them updates when they've earned a commission, and so on. So then you might have a cancellation sequence. If, for example, you have a subscription process and someone cancels, well, what happens then? Do you need to send them a message to say, hi, I'm really sorry to hear you've cancelled. What can we do to help you? Or we're really sorry you've cancelled. These are the next steps, and so on. So you want to have that sequence in place. If you have a subscription, like I mentioned, welcoming them to the subscription, but also sending them those reminders when their product's due back out to them. That's another automation sequence that you might want to have on your emails. You might also want to think about having product recommendation. So if, for example, they've bought the collagen vibrancy cream, they bought one product, you might then send them another email saying, thank you so much for your purchase. I love that you love our collagen cream, but have you thought about trying our renewal serum? Because our renewal serum does X, Y, and Z and will really help to complement your journey to better skin, right? That's another sequence that you might want to think about creating. So you really want to think about all the different sequences that you can create to make sure you're building that relationship with your customer. Now, these sequences, of course, are based on automation. So working with Holly, she's working with our chosen mail provider, and she's creating those sequences, but also creating the different tags that go from the website to ensure that the right customer gets the right email. Now, this is something that's really important because you want to make sure that the right customer gets the right email at the right time. I'm sure before you may have sometimes gotten the wrong email from the wrong thing. That's quite annoying. So you want to make sure your outfit, your business seems as professional as humanly possible. So I'm lucky enough that my Fiverr website team, Mobians, and my email consultant from Fiverr, Holly, email coach, are working together in conjunction to make sure that the right automations are set up at the right time, that we have the right tags from the website that feeds into the email automation so the right people get the right emails. So in addition to that, so that's the email automation out of the way. There's lots of other sequences that you might want to create, declined card, out of stock emails and so on. That's one side of the business of email. So the other side of email that you want to be thinking about is, of course, the nurturing emails and the sales emails. So the nurturing emails are very much the emails that you want to send out on a fairly regular basis to stay in touch with your customer. Now, I believe in those emails, you want to add some value as well as selling. So you really want to send emails out that have interesting blogs or tips or advice. And it doesn't just have to be about the product that you sell. So for example, Holly and I are working on some emails to go out that will give advice on how to improve your skin that isn't about the product, or how to improve your life that isn't about the product. Because fundamentally, I want my customers to feel like they're part of a community that cares about them, because that's who I am. I care about them. And I want them to be able to think about different things they can do in their life that's going to improve their life as a whole, in addition to being confident in their skin. Because being confident in your skin, it's not just about aesthetically how it looks, but also how can you build confidence? How can you change your diet or nutrition? What should you be doing in terms of what you eat or drink? Should you be investing in vitamins? Are there fitness tips and so on? I want it to feel like those emails are worth reading. You get an email and you think, wow, that's really insightful, that's really helpful. So those are the nurturing emails. They're just valuable emails that make people want to read and want to be part of a community. But then there's also the sales emails. So you might choose to have a range of emails that encourage someone to make a purchase. So maybe they have bought something before, but you want to then encourage them to buy something else. Or maybe they've bought before and it's coming up to when that product should finish. So, 10, 12 weeks or 4 weeks or whatever, however long the duration of that product is. You might send another email reminder. Hey, that product is due to finish soon. I don't want you to run out before you have the chance to reorder. So here is your reminder. That's a reminder email, it's a sales email, but it's also a helpful email, because there's nothing worse. There's lots of things worse. There's nothing worse than finishing your cream and having no cream to go on to, and then realizing and then having to order in a panic. You want to make sure you've got your stocks. So why not remind the customer? You might also want to think about other emails if you have a promotion. So maybe there's a sale, maybe there's free delivery up until midnight, maybe there's an opportunity for them to get an extra prize as a result, maybe there's a competition, maybe there's, lots of different ways that you can encourage that person to actually make a purchase. So those are the different types of emails that you want to think about creating. And of course, I'm working with Holly on creating all three of those things. So the automation, so that customers get the information that they need about their order. The nurturing emails, to make sure the customers are being encouraged to better themselves as a whole and be given some valuable information. And of course, the sales emails, to encourage those sales to keep flowing, to encourage them to refer their friends, to join the affiliate program, and so on. So here is some homework for you. So first, if you're thinking about creating those email automations and you don't have that extensive knowledge on how to create the automations, how to tag the right people to make sure the right people are getting the information, how to write the copy for the automation, which again is very, very important, then you want to make sure you head on over to Fiverr and find someone who has that knowledge on how to create email automation and email flows, who can help you to create those email automations and sequences for you and with you, of course. Remember, you are the expert. You know everything there is to know about your brand. So it's always good to work in association, in conjunction with an expert, so that you can get the very best information out to your customers. Second, you want to be thinking about how you nurture that audience. What sort of information do you want to send them? How do you want to encourage them to be part of your community, or to feel that they are loved, respected, and supported to help them to achieve whatever goal it is you are providing? How do you give them great information that's going to help them on their journey? Now, you might choose to not do very many nurturing emails. It's entirely up to you. You want to choose how often you want to send those emails out, because again, that will reflect your budget. That will reflect how much money you need to pay to your email automation expert to support you. So Holly and I, the email coach, and I had a great conversation about how often we want to email out to our customers. We want them to feel that they want to receive the email, not feel bombarded. So what is that number of emails for you? The third one is the sales emails. How many sales emails do you want to send on a monthly basis? What do you want those sales emails to say? Are you planning to do any promotions? And if so, what are those promotions and what is the frequency of that promotion? Because you want to make sure your customers not just waiting for the next promotion for them to buy. You want them to come on board and be excited that there is a sale, there is an opportunity, or if there's a waiting list, that the waiting list is now open. We want to get them in and try and retain them as a happy customer. Now, I hope this journey to building a business from the ground up is really helping you to build yours, because it's so exciting on the journey. There's so many decisions to be made. In fact, one of the decisions that I'm making right now that you can help me with is what box to choose. I know it's unrelated to emails, but it's so important. There are so many decisions. Do I go with the silver foil or do I go with the white box? It would help if it was that way around. Silver foil or the white box, right? So many decisions. And I'm conscious that as you're following me on this journey, you'll be making so many decisions. And having the right people in your corner is definitely going to help you make the right decision. So thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of From the Ground Up. Make sure you comment below if you're on this journey. If you have any questions, I'm always happy to answer them. But of course, if you can help me make a decision between silver foil and white, I'd appreciate it. I will see you next time.